Hello and welcome. I'm Avery Gregan, and I am back for more Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. Today we're on to episode 21. We're in the last stretch of the first season, and last time was an absolute banger. Easily my favorite episode of the season. Uh, we'll see if it ends up being my favorite episode of the show. I get a feeling JJK is just getting warmed up, so that'll probably be in jeopardy soon enough, maybe even in this next session, these next 4 episodes, but we'll see. But it's got this next set has quite a bit to live up to because last time everyone put their hands together for Toto and Toto took a bow, or I guess more accurately, Toto put his hands together and everyone bowed because Toto's power. It was technically sort of revealed to us earlier when he clapped in. Well, when we saw someone clap and Yuji switched places with I forget who it was, but it was during the group battle. But this time we really got to see the most of the full effects of it, and we got it like in this piecewise sort of reveal, where it was like we learned that clapping does it, and then as the fight progresses, we learn more and more of not even limitations, but what it can do. So we expand the power more and more, and only after we do that several times does he explain more of the power, and yet still leave some mystery, like how much range does it have? Does he need to know the person or be familiar with them? Does he know what they look like? Can he do it with literally anything that has a certain amount of cursed energy? There's so many other questions, and yet I feel like I understand the power so much more. It's such a simple power. It's not something that's particularly hard to understand. It's just done so well. It's such a good power, so interesting. Uh, Hanami probably thought it was a little bit less interesting because she was absolutely pummeled by Toto that episode, and also by Yuji, who is getting better and better, and released a consecutive black flashes. Pretty sure I'm calling that right. For some reason, I'm just having trouble remembering that name. But he just released punch after punch, and yeah, Hanami just got pummeled. Not to underestimate our antagonist, though, it seemed that she was about to really go all out as she started sapping energy from the environment, feeding it into her little flower thing. But before it could unleash her move and before she could unleash her domain expansion, um, well, the veil broke and Daddy's home. Gojo arrived, sent pretty much everyone packing one by one, including Hanami, and did some interesting like combination power where he combined his a curse technique amplifier blue and curse technique reversal red, I believe they were called, and created some sort of purple blast that just absolute hyper beam, Saitama serious punch, just utter destruction. Obviously, Hanami's not gone. Even if that did obliterate her, she'll be back clearly. But Gojo brought a very, I want to say anticlimactic, but it was pretty climactic. So a fairly climactic end, but sudden end to this arc that took quite the turn a few episodes ago. But it does look like this is over. I don't know if we'll just go back to doing the group battle or move on to the single battle, or if we'll just call this thing off altogether because things are getting real and maybe this isn't the time to be bickering amongst each other. But I guess we'll see that in today's episode. So without any further ado, let's just hop right into it. You can probably tell I'm getting over my cold a little bit. My voice is still a little nasally, but I'm mostly back to full strength. So hopefully these episodes I'll be able to bring out a little bit more into it, and it'll drain me a little bit less. Regardless, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment if there's something interesting that you want to bring out to me. I'd love to open discourse with you. If you want to subscribe, you can join me on my journey to finish JJK Seasons 1 and 2 before Season 3 drops in January. Considering we're wrapping up with JJK Season 1 this week, I think it's a very achievable goal. So before I get into it, if you do enjoy it, please do remember to like, subscribe if you want to join me on my journey to finish JJK Seasons 1 and 2 before Season 3 drops January next year. Leave a comment if there's something that interests you. If you want to open a discourse with me, I would love to respond to you and really engage with you about this show because it's the most fun part about this. If you are new to my channel, I do full reactions. I don't edit them down. However, the visuals will be altered on YouTube for copyright. The unaltered version is in the description. However, the episode breakdown, the analysis will only be on YouTube. So if you do click that link, make sure you come back here for the discussion afterwards. If you stay here, though, I will see you after the episode reaction. But with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump right into JJK Season 1, Episode 21. Coming back to the cave.
怒られちゃうかな
You did something. You ran. And there's Hanami. Escape mostly successful, I assume.
君は働かずに
On the verge of death. Wow. Please don't. Oh. Are you gonna try to take advantage of this?
楽にしてあげようか
Oh.
お疲れ
I hate that
人間のくせ
expression.
に勝手すんなよ殺すぞ
いやだな
人間のくせに
優しさじゃんか呪いにこの機微は分かんないか
Ooh. Tension. Demons and curses.
でブツは
バッチリさ特級呪物両面少な光線保有分6本同じく特級呪物受体クソーズ
Just wounds
1番
death
から
painting.
3番
1 through
光線にある自社仏閣そのほとんどがハリボテで天元の結界術によって日々配置を変えるんだ
So Skuna's not the only one that has
その
several
中の1000を
pieces.
超える扉のうち一つが
Cursed Womb sounds
指
very
を含む
familiar.
危険度の高い呪物を保管する蔵へと通じている
Oh wow.
その日どの扉が蔵へ通じているかは天元しか知らないから邪魔は入らないと思うよ
天元とは何者だ
不死の
Got
術
their
式を
own
持った
little-
呪術師さ
They got their own immortality? What?
不死であっても
Gojo.
不老ではないんだただの木か何かだと思ってくれていい天元は
Yeah.
結界の運用以外基本うつつに干渉しない本当に気にしなくていいよ
That
以
just
前
makes me
光線に
worried.
回収させた指回収前あれに真人の呪力で作った札を貼っておいた一層の封印の内側だからまず剥がされない本人なら簡単にたどれる門番的なのは扉から蔵までの間に天元の側近が2人雑魚だよそれよりも真人には帳が降りる前に光線で待機している術師をできるだけ静かに間引いてほしい花見の負担を減らしたい
なぜ五条悟を帳の内側に閉じ込めないのですか
本命の真人に意識のベクトルを向けさせたくない
Oh, all of this was
ある程度全力を出してもらわないと帳のテストにもならないしね学生を閉じ
and a
込める
test
の
of
が
the
手っ
veil.
取り早い
Interesting.
スクナの器以外は殺していいのですね
いいけどあまりおすすめはしないスクナの動きがさ少し私のイメージとずれる
Mhm.
これは推測でしかないんだけどおそらく学生の中に ス
Nice
クナにとっての
transition.
地雷がいる
He's most interested in
それを
Fuchiguro.
踏めば最悪今回の行動すべてが台無しになる
先に虎杖だけさらってしまえばいいだろうどの道使う駒だ
いや虎杖スクナ自身もまた爆弾だ私たちにとっても光線にとってもね
Mom, you don't know the trick or two.
刺激するタイミングはより混乱が求められる時にしたい10月31日渋谷五条悟の封印のために利用できるものは温存する
So I do know there's a very big deal in
それ
season
から
2 called the
何人
Shibuya
か塾師も
incident.
同行するけど
I don't know anything about it though.
こいつは捨ておいていい最後まで作戦行動の取れる人間じゃない今後邪魔になる
I had a feeling this October 31st plan would be that, but hearing that's going to be in Shibuya
別の
confirms
人間が見
it.
るからそいつとは仲良くね
仲良くだってよ、ジョーゴ
わしいかんし
I can't tell if I'm more excited or
ほら
terrified.
起きて花見帰るよ
真人。
Arm is just gone. That's the good arm
殺意に
too.
ブレーキをかけるのはストレスがたまりますね。
花見も呪いらしくなってきたね。
Not gonna lie, I was expecting the Hanami battle to be a bigger deal than it was. It wasn't a small deal, don't get me wrong, but I expected it to be a little bit longer. Hell a good fight though, don't get me wrong. Incredible fight even. Oh my god. Couldn't have waited 5 more seconds. There we go.
続いて人的被害です。2級術師3名、準1級術師1名、補助監督5名、機構番2名。高専に待機していた術師で、五条さんや矢賀学長と別行動だった方たちもですね。家入さんからの報告待ちですが、以前七海さんが遭遇した呪霊の仕業でほぼ間違いないかと。
この件って学生や他の術師と共有した方がいいですかね。
いや、
上で止めておいてもらった方がいいだろう。呪詛師界隈に特級呪物流出の確信を与えたくない。捕らえた呪詛師は何か入ったか。
口が固いわけではないのですが、まともじゃない要領を得ない発言が多いです。ただ普段の襲撃に関して自分は取引の上命令されてやったに過ぎないとのことで。
ハンガーラックを作りたかったんだ。
There it is.
それはあの坊主。名前は知らねえ。男か女かもわかんねえ。白髪おかっぱのガキだ。
性別不詳のおかっぱ坊主のガキンチョウ。心当たりは？
なーし。適当こいてるだけじゃない。自白に強い術師いないの？
そもそもなんで呪霊や部外者が天元様の結界抜けられたのよ。
それは生徒たちが相手にした特級呪霊のせいだと思う。特殊な気配を持ってる。呪霊は呪霊でも限りなく精霊に近いんじゃないかな。葵の話だと植物に潜り込めたらしいし。天元様の結界も植物には機能しないでしょ。天元様の結界って守るより隠すに全振りしてるから懐に入られるとちょっと弱いよね。スクナの指による有事のポテンシャル強化を危惧したのか？それとも自分たちの強化目的か？なんかしっくりこないんだよな。
とりあえず今は学生の無事を喜びましょう。
だが交流会は言わずもがな中止ですね。
ちょっとそれは僕たちが決めることじゃないでしょ。
I mean, it kind of is, but I think I know where he's going with that. It should be up to them.
いや、仲良くなったっつうか、記憶はあんだけど、あの時は俺が俺じゃなかったというか。
何あんた、酔ってたの？
釘崎は俺があの状況で酒を飲みかねないと思ってるの？ショックなんだけど。でもまあ、伏黒の怪我が大したことなくてよかったな。ピザも食えてるしな。
いや、もっと消化のいいもん持ってきてくれ。
Hey, pizza's delicious. That's all that matters.
あの時磁力カラカラだったのが逆に良かったみたいだ。根を取り除いた時点で家入りさんの合わせる程度だった。
へえ、そういうこともあんのか。
Already drained, so they weren't really roots weren't really grasping onto much.
虎杖。お前強くなったんだな。
Just a little bit. Just a teensy tiny
俺
bit.
たちそれぞれの真実が正しいと言ったな。その通りだと思う。逆に言
You've
えば
gotten stronger too, though.
俺たちは二人とも間違ってる。
答えがない問題もあんでしょ。考えすぎ。あげるわよ。
そうだ、答えなんかない。あとは自分が納得できるかどうかだ。我を通さずに納得なんてできねえだろ。弱い呪術師は我を通せない。
I don't quite agree with that.
俺も強くなる。すぐに追い越すぞ。
It's a good motivator.
相変わらずだな。
私抜きで話進めてんじゃねえよ。
それこそブラザーの友達だな。
Yes. I assume this is the gorilla they were talking about.
感謝はしてる。でも勘弁してくれ。あの時俺は正気じゃなかった。
We're best friends. Come on. He's just accepted it. He's accepted his fantasy. Oh my god, that running? That was like Mario. That was awesome. Miwa! I'm so glad she's okay. I love how vocal or how much range her voice was and that how expressive she was with just the plain face she's stretching. Something about the disconnect was really funny to me. I had a feeling that was her sword.
そんなこんなで中止と思われた交流会。とりあえず一日休みを挟んで。
Oh, this is the baseball bit.
私たちは今野球をしています。
Tell me this is... That's Gojo! Are we getting a baseball episode? I'm gonna be so happy if we are. Wait, did they say this is taking the place of... This is taking the place of the group battle? I'm so down if so.
どうするって言われてもな。
当然。続
We
けに決まってい
continue.
るだろう。
Yeah.
堂々。
This is so funny now that the
一つ個人を忍ぶのは当人という
they were getting along so well.
俺たちが立ち入る問題ではない。
I guess it was just the adrenaline.
人死にが出たのならば、なおさら俺たちに求められるのは強くなることだ。後天的強さとは結果の積み重ね。敗北をかみしめ勝利を味わう。そうやって俺たちは
Goto's leitmotif is absolute perfection.
一番重要なんだ。
東堂先輩って意外としっかりしてるんですね。しっかりいかれてんのよ。
3つ。学生時代の不完全燃焼感は死ぬまで尾を引くものだからな。
お前いくつだよ。俺は構わないですよ。
どうせ勝つしね。
へりくつだが一理ある。
科目を休んだら。
いきなーし。
鮭。
You do not
個人
afraid
戦
to
の組み
fight.
合わせはくじ引きか？
え？今年は個人戦
Does Parkour Panda have a little like... Is that a bandage with a panda
の学長が提案した勝負方法を1日ずつ2日間かけて行う。つってもそれは建前で、初日が団体戦、2日目が個人戦って毎年決まってる。
鮭。僕ルーティーンって嫌いなんだよね。毎年この箱に勝負方法を入れて当日開けんだ。
Sure, we just assume that's how it would
自
be.
学長が来た際の打ち合わせは当日必要なものだけの確認です。
Yakyu!
野球
いたの？
Both of the... Neither of them? He rigged the lot. God damn it, Gojo. Oh!
らないなら先に言いなさい。
That's
打ったら
unfortunate.
走るんでしょ。
The ball's hit, I run.
なんじゃそりゃ。
She's not entirely wrong.
シンプルにバカ。
特急を退けたらしいな。
Just little
うん。
details.
いや、東堂と五条先生のおかげっすよ。メットいいんすか？
虎杖、お前はなぜ呪術師をやっている？
きっかけは成り行きっす。寂しがりなんでね。いっぱい人を助けて、俺が死ぬとき、大勢に見とってほしいんすよ。
母様がいないなら呪術師なんてならない。のりとしには才能がある。たくさんの人を助けられるの。助けた数だけあなたは人に認められる。そうしたら今度はいろんな人があなたを助けてくれる。一人なのは今だけだよ。いつか立派な呪術師になって母さんを迎えに来てね。
Goes around, comes around, making the world a better place.
そうか。
Makes your world a better place too.
良い理由だ。
ストライクバッターズチェンジ。
カモン、踏んなきゃ当たんね
Didn't even try.
東北のマー君とは私のことよ。
東北のマー君はマー君。
Approval of a credit card.
おかか。
Shut up, it's the only baseball reference I can make. No way! They're just gonna have a pitching machine!
何言ってるの？
It's obviously our dear friend Mechamaru. Come on! Can't you see the face? Can't you tell by the face? It's clearly our friend.
もしかしてオタク？次から次へとよくもまあ曲がりなりにも高専生がよ。ほらやってやるよ。
But Nobaru runs with it.
やけくそだな。
That's incredible. Wait, what was that? I'm gonna go visit all these afterwards because I cannot read this fast. Especially with the overlay over the Japanese. Breast meat and chicken, nanban, and thigh meat. And... Okay, fair enough. I don't love thigh meat, it's a little too chewy for me. Ooh, nice. I'm not going back to check that one. I feel like this game is rigged against Panda. This does not look like his place to shine. Come on, Maki. This is literally your zone. You're a weapons user. This is gonna be easy for you. If there's one home run in the game, it's gonna be this one. Just like that. That easy. Nothing but net. Wrong game. Don't worry about it. That's absolutely cheating, even though it's definitely not in the... I mean, I guess it's not against the rules per se, but... That is nasty.
ブラザーにふさわしいポジションと言えよ。だが俺が望むのはピッチャー虎杖との一騎打ちだ。
Yeah, we gotta keep our rivalry going.
お前がピッチャー
Bend the rules.
ダメよ。メカ丸が今ピッチャーしかできないんだから。
It's his only role.
約束してくれ、ブラザー。この打席、
We will settle
俺が
this.
ホームランを打ったら、次回お前がピッチャー。
Oh! Everyone's my brother is dying. Everyone's just They're still going. The surround sound.
まだ虎杖が嫌いですか。
好き嫌いの問題ではない。
Yeah, he's a risk. Yeah. My feelings don't matter. So funny! Nice piece, nice piece, nice piece, nice piece.
虎杖が生きていることでその他大勢が死ぬかもしれん。
だが彼のおかげで救われた命も確かにある。現に今回東堂と協力し特急を退けた。
Yeah, without him that would have gone very differently. I mean, Gojo still would have Gojo'd, but...
ああすればよかった。こうして欲しかった。ああ言えばよかった。こう言って欲しかった。
Was Geto
虎杖についての判断が正しいかどうか正直私にもわかりません。ただ今は見守りませんか。
Yeah, I don't think you guys can afford to be picky right now, all things considered.
何やった？桐巻先輩足早いんだよ。筋か。
私たちの後悔は
Alright, let's see it, Yuji.
その後でいい。
Ooh. The one-eye dog. Very cool. And he's back up like nothing happened. That's our Toto. That's our best friendo. Not bad, Yuji. Even she can't catch it? Avenge your brother. Very good. That's what we like to see. Wow. Tokyo 2-0. Gojo! At least they're okay. That was uncalled for. What a great wind-down episode. What fun. It's got just the right balance of slice of life, consequences from the last episode, and serious reflection and thoughts moving forward, right? Such a nice blend with all three. Not like leaning overly into either one of them, because the more you're leaning into one of those three, the more it takes away from the other two. But as long as you just kind of like bounce around those three walls, perfect balance. Great. And also it's just a lot of fun, really good gags. I'm still reeling about when Mai hit the home run and just catches it in the air. That's so funny. I don't know if that or Toto getting knocked the fuck out by a baseball is my favorite bit, but definitely one of those two. They're neck and neck. I almost feel like we don't need a Juju Sampo. We already had our cooldowns. So what ridiculous is... Oh, this is a good question. Rice, by the way. That does change it. What's with it? Why is nobody saying bamboo? Okay. That's fair. I get it. Great meta joke. Alright, technical difficulties aside, that was episode 21. A great wind down episode. Yeah, I said it during the ED, but a great balance of slice of life fun, consequences of last time, and also reflections slash looking forward into the future, what we're going to do next. It's a delicate balance with all those three things, because doing any one too much will take away from the other two. But they hit that balance really well, as JJK has proven itself capable of doing. Adept at doing, I would say, even. Oof, I was not expecting Hanami to just be absolutely demolished. Like, I was expecting her to be hurt, but, like, that's bad. That flower's gone. It'll grow back, I'm sure, but... Ugh. And then this guy, Juzo, I think his name is, made some faces that thankfully my 5-second skipping is not showing because I don't need to relive them. I don't like them one bit. But clearly our... Oh, is that one of the... No, that's his finger, right? No, it's not. Wait. No, it's not. That's... What is that? Is that one of the... Okay, I assume it's one of these, right? All 6 of the fingers they possess. And the Cursed Womb's death paintings. Cursed Womb must die. That can't be a coincidence. They didn't mention this, did they? I wonder what that's about. That's interesting. Tengen's barrier keeps their position changing every day. Many cursed objects, but only one of over 1,000 are as dangerous as the fingers because they're obviously, right? They're Sukuno's fingers. Not going to find many things more dangerous than that. Only Tengen knows which door leads to the storehouse each day, so I don't even want to... Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Okay, I rewatched this scene just so I could really soak it in. So, all these doors that change every day due to this Tengen's barriers, only one of them leads to the storehouse that has all the dangerous stuff, like the fingers. So they put a low-level seal on the finger that they basically Trojan horsed into Jujutsu Tech as a sort of beacon, as a tracking device almost, to let them find out where the storeroom is. And that's where Mahito went and got that finger. And presumably the other thing is one of the 3 of the cursed womb thing. Unless that was just his finger, in which case, I'm not sure. But Shibuya, October 31st is the day. That was 2 weeks ago. Uh-oh. So this is just them discussing the plan that happened before. Trying to pump the brakes on my hostility is incredibly stressful. Yeah, curses and humans do. It's it's not easy once you've gotten that thing running to shut it off. So they talk about the casualties. Don't share it, it's needed no basis, yeah. That's gonna cause panic. Or recklessness, or both. And then we learn about a new character here, one we haven't really seen before. An androgynous monk kid with a bob cut. And then I don't think we've heard about natural spirits before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume this is effectively... I assume this is pretty much the term that we'll be using for these 3, Volcano Head, Hanami, and I don't know if we know what the Ocean One's name is, but for those 3. And I guess you could theoretically say Mahito. I guess they're all kind of the same caliber. I wonder if there are others beyond that, though, because they know what natural spirits are. Unless it's a conceptual idea. A lot of questions. A lot of things being hinted at for the future. I think it's on this barrier doesn't function against plants. So he could easily, or Hanami could easily help them get through. Yeah, that's the real question. Are they trying to collect the fingers to keep them from us, or are they trying to use it for themselves? It doesn't seem like they're using it for themselves. It seems like they're holding on to them, they're collecting them. Probably for Sukuna. It's now canceled. Is it, though? We should leave it up to them. And then a little bit talking about Toto, which is great. And here's an interesting thing worth discussing. We both said our convictions were proper ones. I still think that's true. Or to put another way, we're both wrong, so neither of our convictions are proper. What? Our convictions were proper. To put it another way, we're wrong. There is no answer. It's just whether or not you can accept it. I'll go into this next part in a second, but I'm not sure what to make of that. This might be one of the cases of, I previously praised JJK for its incredibly tight storytelling and its dialogue, and I still stand by that, but I think this is also the backside of it, where if you're not properly like comprehending what they're saying, it can be a little bit too tight at times, where just you can get lost. Like here, I don't quite understand what he's saying. He's saying it in too few words, and everyone else seems to understand too, so I'm not sure if it's just me or if it's the author not really conveying it properly, or some mix of the two. I'm not sure, but I don't quite understand what he's saying here. Our convictions were proper. I still think that's true. To put it another way, we're both wrong. What? I don't understand. Then he says there is no answer. But there's no accepting anything if you... we have to accept it, but there's no accepting anything if you can't have it your way. I don't know whether... I don't know what he's trying to say here. I honestly don't. I've got nothing. Please do. Leave it in the comments if you have an idea here. If you have something you want to say or something that I'm just missing, that's just not clicking in my head, please do. Leave it in the comments. But I'm not sure. This is something I can comment on, though, just in general. He wants to get stronger so he can have things go his way, so he can accept it. I see where he's coming from, and that's a good motivator, I think. But I think there's more to it than that, too. I think you have to accept a lot of things that you can't have your way. And I don't think that's a hot take. We can probably all agree on that, right? Or at least mostly. Most things you can't have your way. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'll say, yeah, most things, realistically, if you think about it, if you think about your everyday life, you can't have your way. You're generally reactive to a lot of things. You can incite a lot of things, but there's simply too much happening in the world that reacts to what you do that you then have to react to. So even things that you start doing, you will have to react far more than whatever initiation you provided or you initiated. So you have to learn to accept things that you can't have your way. I think not being able to accept it is it's an invitation for stubbornness and for slamming your head against a wall because the world isn't operating how you want it to. On the other hand, though, I do like where he takes this. I think having this not as a set in stone like moral of yours, not like have it as your theme, have it like a banner over your wall, but instead having it as a motivator to get stronger, because the stronger I am, the more things can go my way, so the more easily I can accept it. That's a good motivator. That's fair. It's the same thing for getting more money, right? The more money you have, the more freedom you have, the more options you have, so the easier it is to accept whatever happens to you, because the more control you have. But there's definitely a problem, and you see it more and more with modern society, where people obsess over control. And people need to... It would benefit a lot of people to be able to let go and just kind of roll with the waves, instead of trying to control everything. Instead of trying to have things their way, but to accept it regardless. So I very much disagree with Fushiguro, but I do like where he takes it. I think it's a good motivator. Just, I hope he can accept, ironically, I hope he can accept that it's okay to accept things that don't go your way. Because that's very necessary. You're not going to last long in this world if you can't accept things because they don't go your way. No, I was just being left out. And Toto has entered the chat. I guess the battle... This is great. This little platforming bit. It's a great bit. It's a funny bit. Another funny bit. Niwa just like super expressive with her voice and super inflective, and yet her face is just perfectly flat as she's stretching. Something about that's just really funny to me. I was asleep and my sword was broken by somebody else. Unfortunate. It's okay, Niwa. We still love you. You did your best before that. And now we're playing baseball because that's just what we're doing. Obviously, Toto wants to continue it. And he says a lot of interesting things here that I agree with. I kind of missed this. This is interesting. Toto! This screenshot's just me last episode. But here, first, only those with connection to the dead have a right to mourn them. That's interesting. I disagree with that. I think it's fair to disagree with that to a degree. I guess it depends on the terminology here. Mourn, maybe yes. I guess it would be a difference between grieve and mourn. Perhaps. I suppose it's a matter of how... Well, no, but here it's about continuing on the tournament, so... There's nothing wrong with somebody you don't necessarily know or somebody you don't have a personal connection with. There's nothing wrong with changing how you live your life because something happens to them, or God forbid, in this case, they die, right? I mean, with public figures, right? If somebody dies, then there's nothing wrong with taking a day out to mourn them. That's why we have a lot of holidays. Going less to the celebrity angle, if, like, your mother's best friend died, you don't have a connection to them, but it's okay to take time out to mourn them a little bit. But I suppose it is true that, like, you don't want to fall into the sort of the parasocial relationship in a sense where you feel like a personal loss because of somebody you don't really know. That's something you don't want to fall for because that's, if you do that and you easily do that, then you're going to end up grieving a whole lot for people that you don't know and shouldn't affect your life as much as it does, right? So I like the sentiment here where you shouldn't pause your life just because people are dying. But I don't agree that only people with connection have a right to mourn them. I think anyone can do it. If you know the person, especially if they're a public figure. But if you know the person at all, not necessarily if you have a connection, but even if you just know them, then you have a right to mourn them. You absolutely do. And even if you don't know them at all, I think as fellow human beings, as fellow living creatures, we all have a right to mourn any living creature we want to, because any loss of life is sad, is tragic, to be mourned. Because life is valuable in itself. Life is valuable. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, Mahito said, what, like over 10 episodes now ago? Almost 15 episodes ago now? Crazy that it's been that long, but it's the value of life, right? All life is value. I personally believe that, at least. As a result, though, I think that anyone can mourn anyone or anything that is or was once alive. By virtue of it being alive, and by virtue of me being alive, that is enough of a right to mourn their loss. But practically speaking, yes, I'm not going to pause my life because I stepped on an ant, because someone cut down a tree. Those are loss of life, but I'm not going to mourn them necessarily. So, give and take. Agree, disagree. He's a little too reductive here, but there's quite a lot to be said about what he's saying here. Which, I don't know about his IQ being in the hundreds of thousands, but he's far more intellectual and far more introspective than many would expect. And I wouldn't say that he clearly thinks quite highly of himself, and a lot of that's deserved, but he's certainly not just your big muscle. I almost said muscle mommy. He's not a mommy. Your muscle bubby? Brother? I don't know. I'm going to stop there. It's not our place to butt in there. That's a good stipulation to add. Don't go to a funeral full of people, like close friends to the person who died when you don't even know them, and pretend like you're as sad as they are, right? That's another thing. Butting in is a whole different issue. From mourning and inserting yourself into a mourning situation are two very different things. And again, with both of them, it's how you do it. People have died. It's all the reason we become stronger, and that is, this event is how we do it, right? Accumulation of results. Both defeat and victory lead to growth. What matters is the results happen. But you get results whether it finishes or not, right? This isn't like a test where you only get results once you turn it in, but as you're filling out the answers, to continue that metaphor, you're getting results when it comes to training, when it comes to getting stronger. When it comes to going to the gym, you don't need to finish your planned workout to get stronger. Every rep technically does it. When a student feels like they weren't able to bring out their best, it hangs over them until they die. Maybe for you, who's an eternal middle schooler, switching from middle school fantasy to middle school fantasy as you grow, so you can never leave middle school. I mean, you're intelligent anyways, so, I mean, it's clearly working out for you. I don't know who I'm to judge, but if it works, it works. What did she say? Will we draw lots for the individual battle pair-ups? There are no individual battles this year. Why? We just kind of assumed it was. All of these faces are great. Oh my god, it's hard to pick a favorite. Miwa's blank stare into the infinite nothingness is really close. The absolute disgust on Mai's face is great. I think I speak for everyone, though, when I say that Toto takes it. Toto takes it. The complete just perfection. I love it. Super funny. Awesome. I don't know what's happening in the background. There's a lot of things happening, but special boo. Oh, 600 point. Oh, they're different, like, games. Like, different games and ways of getting points and stuff. So he rigged the lottery and decided to have them play baseball. And the two principals just spawn in once they sense that something's amiss. Awesome. Okay, let's go through these. The mango she was letting ripen in the refrigerator is gone. I think we know one of two people who was responsible for it. I don't know if it was Mai or Nishimiya, but it was certainly one of them. And she gets herself out. I know them. When the balls hit, I run. Practicing cursive. I can write my own name now. That's awesome. I restarted learning cursive, I guess several months ago now, like half a year ago. It's quite fun for me. I quite enjoy it. This one's not here. Tsugi no hi. Oh. So the first time he had, I don't know what that is, kare ramen? First time he had some kind of ramen, he thought, I'm going to be pooping a lot next episode, tomorrow. That's essentially what this is. Yeah, that's pretty Yuji. It's pretty freaking Yuji. And then Kamo just doesn't baseball. He just grills Yuji a little bit and then just takes the L. But we learn a little bit here. You have time, you save lots of people, and the more people you save, the more you'll be recognized. And in turn, all kinds of people will help you. You'll only be alone for now. And Yuji says something similar. I'm a lonely guy, I want to save people and have lots of people watching over me when I die. The more people I save, the more people will appreciate me, and the more recognized I'll be. It's a connection between the two of them. Which is kind of case in point, right? I mean, none of them really quite saved each other necessarily, so it's not exactly that, but it's these connections, right? It's the more you put yourself out there, the more you save people, the more people recognize you, the more connections you'll build. I don't know how I feel about saving people so you're not lonely. That's a bit of a savior complex, something similar to that, but it's interesting. It's a little twist on the golden rule of what comes around goes around. But the twist I like to put on the golden rule is the more good I do for others, the more good they will end up doing, and the more net good will be in the world. That's kind of how I see the golden rule. And sure enough, there's a lot of gold here. And he's doing it for his mother. They call me the Mahu no Tohoku. But that was a pitcher. And then Mechamaru, another incredible gag. It's just a pitching machine. No, you can clearly tell by the name and the label that is our best friend Mechamaru. Plus, you broke our last Mechamaru. Don't break this one, please. I don't know what that says. It's weird. I know like all the little parts of it. Lately, is that mango? Mango? The mango she was bad at? I don't know what that verb is. I don't know. I can't be bothered to look it up, though. Those two are pitching as usual. Megumi, oh wow, he looks totally different when his hair is covered. Yeah, Professor Breast Meat, that's the one I did see. And then, home run. Damn it, Momo. Damn it. Lack of players, one can use curse techniques. Whatever. Okay, Toto, what is this? I don't know enough Japanese. I don't know. I would look it up, but I suddenly forgot what I was about to look up. Nice pitchy. Everyone joins in. Incredible. Yeah. President Gakuanji doesn't have personal feelings in this. At least he claims not to. Just against the rules. We must not bend the rules of the group of the individual. I mean, right? How bendable, how malleable are rules? Most rules should be malleable to a great degree because rules are not designed with every possible instance, every possible iteration, every possible hypothetical in mind. They're general for general ideas, which is why they have to be malleable for when specific instances come out that are different. Like this one. Many others may die. I mean, they might or they might not. Who knows, right? What we do know is that he saved people, and he hasn't really killed anyone, so he's a net good right now. So there's another point towards letting him live. I say to the main character of the show I'm watching. I get his perspective, though, to a degree. Doesn't apply to just our students. Stack upon many regrets. And then we see Geto. Regrets. Now, is that Geto's regrets, or is that his regrets thinking about Geto, what I should have done? I wonder if Geto was in a similar situation as Yuji, where he seemed like too strong or something, or concerning, so they cut ties with him because they were afraid of what he could have been. I wonder. We'll have to see later. We can save our regrets for after that. Then he hits a home run that Maki's so proud of her little Kohai, and everyone's beams. Do something about Gojo first. Yeah, kick him out before Yuji. He's much more of a net negative. I mean, he's not, obviously, but I'm surprised Gakuanji doesn't think about that. But I guess he's not a student, so they don't have that right. But whatever. Great episode. A lot more to talk about than I thought there would be. Also, probably a lot of editing to do on my part, so you don't just watch me just read the subtitles. So I'll have to cut that down quite a bit. Regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe if you want to join me on my journey to finish JJK. Blah, blah, blah. I said it already. If there's something I said that you disagree with or something you want to build off of, or if there's something in the episode I missed or it's something that you want to bring to my attention, please do leave it in the comments. I would love to open a discourse with you. Regardless, whatever you end up doing, thank you again so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next time, have a lovely rest of your day.